Hi guys, now it's time for gold weekly analysis. Last week we anticipated that we had broken out of a bearish trend and we were going to range a lot with a bearish tilt as it was mentioned in my comments. So right now what happened, we did break out of the range and we did have a bearish movement but just on Friday we came back into the range and we are now testing top of the range. So right now my analysis would be the same as before, nothing new to add here. If we had turned this area, if we had did something like this, then I would be like I would say I'm bearish, but nothing like this is happening. So obviously it came back into the range, and it is a rule of the range. Whenever an asset enters back into the range, it will test the top of the range. So, and we have tested the top of the range almost, and we may go a little bit more higher. So I would be looking still for sales as we are at the top of the range. But for that, I would try to go into a lower time frame. So first of all, let's start from the top. On the weekly chart, we are still bullish. We are still in a breakout phase. Nothing new to add here, and we are still due a correction. As you can see on the RSI, we are at overbought levels, so buying is still a little bit dangerous unless we consolidate and rebalance ourselves like we did here in this last previous range. So we can range a lot here and rebalance ourselves. If not, then we will be correcting ourselves to a minimum. The 382 would be like 2525. So this level would be a good level to look for buys, but most probably a better target for sales. So that's all on the weekly. On the daily chart, what do we have? On the daily chart, same as it's the same. We were ranging. We broke out of the range, and this here, what we had was not a breakout, but actually a fake out. So, wait, yes, this was a fake out. Now this fake out has happened. Now we will be testing top of the range. So we may continue higher or we may continue lower, but I would prefer, as we are in a ranging market, I would prefer going on to the 1 hour time frame and start looking for a break of this bullish trend line, and I would sell at the top of the range. Simple as that. We are in a ranging market. This is the top, this is the bottom. We buy here, we sell here, and we broke out of the range. As I mentioned, we had a bearish tilt in this range. We did break out, but we came back into the range on Friday. So we may continue ranging next week as well. So that's all I have for good. Nothing new to add here. We are due a correction. We are at overbought levels. So we should be careful while doing this. So let's hope like we have exited the overbought condition. So we may continue while. So we should be careful while buying, but selling can be done. So, but we need confirmation. We need to break this trend line, something like this. Where did you go? We would need something like this to happen. So for Mondays, I would look for sales, meaning that we are in a range, simple range trading, nothing to add here. Yes, if we do break out of the range, when I would buy would be this. Only condition I would buy would be something like this. Before that, I will not be chasing the price out of the range. As we have seen on higher time frames, we are in a very overbought condition. So gold has a habit of moving a lot in certain moves. So we may get a very big move downward without us knowing it. So that is why we use as stop losses to save ourselves from such big moves against us. So take care, guys. See you next week.